Dennypark English reading show. I'm going to read you The Horrible Harry and the June Box by Susie Klein, pictures by Amy Woolmer. Do you remember I read you chapter 1 and chapter 2 from last video? Yeah! Now I'm reading you The Horrible Harry and the June Box, chapter 3, Song Ho. Let's explore this chapter together. Song Ho. It's a pig, she whispered, handing it to me. Sally had it made out of pink origami paper. Pigs are good luck in Korea, she said. It took 5 tries to fold it right. Then she pulled out 4 other pink paper pigs. One didn't have a tail. One didn't have a snout. 2 were half full and ripped. She shook her head and she snuffed them into her desk. Looks like a long of work, I said, cradling the pig gently. About 3 hours, Sally admitted. I can't wait to send it to Grandma Bong. It's her 16th birthday. Mom is mailing it to Korea with my homemade card after school today. It looks just like a pig, I replied. I love the way you folded his ears and curly tail. I named it Song Ho, said Sally, chuckling, after a famous Korean soccer player. Cool. That's fun to say. Song Ho, I replied. Harry finally gave up and put his head down. Can I see your pig? He asked her solemnly. When she nodded, I passed Song Ho to Harry. Just for a minute, she whispered. I had to put him back in his box and do my math. Man, this poker is awesome, Harry said, setting Song Ho on his desk. He stand up too. When Harry made oink oink noise and snorted, Song lay giggled. Within 5 seconds, Mrs. Mausoleum appeared at Harry's desk. Are you working on your morning mails? She demanded. Harry made a face. He hadn't started. I'll take the papers in now, she said, scratching it from his desk. Harry objected right away. But that pig isn't... Silence! She snapped. Mine, Harry whimpered. I don't think she heard. Everyone watched Mrs. Mausoleum clump back to her desk. Removed the Cutcher's plant, opened the lid of the June box and dropped Song Ho inside. Then rubbed her hands together. I love June boxes, she said. They help me to bury a valuable lesson. Her eyes got bigger. Her voice got louder. No toys in class! Harry sank down in his chair. Mary and Ida folded their arms. Sydney and Dexter got busy with their math. There was nothing anyone could do. I looked over at Songli. She had her head bowed and appeared to be working on her math challenge. But I could see tears falling. They made the wet splotches on her math paper. Mrs. Mausoleum suddenly appeared at Songli's desk with a Kleenex. Is something the matter? She asked in a low voice. Songli didn't say a word. She just shook her head. The unbelievable happens. At exactly 10 minutes after 9, Mr. Cardini, our principal, made a morning announcement over the intercom. Boys and girls, each classroom will be getting a new kickball and drum rope. I'm happy to announce that after 2 long weeks of in-day recess, You will be going outside today, teachers. When it's convenient to you, please stop the office and sign on your equipment. Abby and the school burst into tears. I could hear the other rooms yelling through our open door. Suddenly wasn't cheering though. She's whimpering her tears anyway with her sweater sleeve. Mrs. Porcelain headed for the door. Boys and girls, I'll be right back. I'm going to the office. When I return in 2 minutes, I expect everyone to be in a seat then. His or her seat, working on our math challenge. As soon as she stepped into the hallway, the unbelievable happened. Someone popped out of their chair. It wasn't Harry, and it wasn't Sydney. It was Song Lee. She was carrying something in her left hand. She moved so quickly and quietly, only a few people noticed. Just about everyone was busy adding up numbers, especially Mary. Her nose was 2 inches from her paper. But Harry and I sure saw her. Or what Song Lee doing? To the pencil sharpener? To get a drink? When she stopped at the teacher's desk, my mouth dropped open. Without making any noise, Song Lee moved, picked a cactus plant, and opened up the June box. Suddenly there was a sound of high heels clicking down the hall. It was Mrs. Porcelain. Boy, walk here fast, walker. Solomon quickly closed the lid, then raced back to her seat. Mary, Ida, Dexter, Zuzu, and Sydney now look up. Had the Song Lee rescued Sung Ho? I don't think anyone knew for sure what happened. Song Lee got to her chair just as the sub entered the room. I noticed Song Lee put both of her hands into the backpack, but I couldn't see what she was doing. I have your cape and jump rope, Mrs. Porcelain announced as she entered the room. I hope you know how fortunate you are to have such fine PE equipment. Please take good care of it. While the sub opened the closet and placed the equipment inside our recess box, Barry returned around to Song Lee and pointed to the cactus plant. She was not on the June box. It was on the teacher's desk. Mary kept trying to get Song Lee's attention. It needed to be put back on the box. Mrs. Porcelain closed the closet door and scanned the classroom with her glaring eyes. As soon as she saw Mary gesturing wildly, the sub stood in her tracks. When Mary stared and turned, saw the sub staring at her, she froze. Mrs. Porcelain walked over to the teacher's desk and examined it carefully. Actively, someone has been tampered with my desk. The cactus plant is not on its proper place. Chapter 5. Harry's Doom. Mrs. Porcelain put both hands on our wooden June box. Everyone could see our 4 flying rings. One bloody red stone was big as a nickel. Oh no, I thought. She's going to look inside. Did Song Lee take Sung Ho? Harry and I hold our breaths. The sub opened the lid and eyed the content of the June box. Everything seems to be in here, she said. Elvis, canary stickers, that pink pig. You could hear Harry and me exhale. Was one giant sigh of relief. Song Lee didn't have enough time to rescue Song Ho. What are these horrible pencil creatures? The sub continued. There must be dozens of them. Those are Harry sub people, Sid volunteered. Mrs. Porcelain cringed, then closed the lid and repaired the catex plant on top. I shook my head. What a close call for Song Lee. The sub reached for the clipboard with a laminated seating chart. I would like to know, she said, who tabled with the prickly cactus? It's obviously somebody who was out of their seat and not doing math. All of us shuddered. Mrs. Porcelain moved to the first row. She called us by our name and last names. Mrs. Brown, she said, did you move the plant? No, I stuttered. Mr. LaFleur, the sub asked. Did you do it? No way, Ruth, Sid replied. My name is Mrs. Beausoleil, she snapped. Not Ruth. Sidney nodded his head and made short times like Dexter's bobblehead Alice. The sub lowered her eyebrows as she moved to 2 row. It was Song Lee's row, and Harry and I were in row 3. Miss Berg. Oh no, I always found the rules, Mrs. Berkeley. The sub was just 2 desks away from Song Lee's. Mr. Haddad. I did not touch the broccoli plant, Zuzu said firmly. Mr. Sanquist, no, ma'am, Dexter answered. He didn't look up. The sub was now standing over Song Lee's desk. Miss Park, she said, did you get out of your seat and move the plant? Song Lee was very slowly open her mouth. Her whole body was shaking. The voice even trembled. Before she got to third, Harry jumped up. I did it, he said. Mrs. Porcelain stepped across the aisle to Song Lee's desk, Harry's desk. You removed the cactus? Yes. Why, Mr. Spooger? Harry reached into his desk and pulled out one of his stud people. He had 2 antennas made of paper clips stuck into a dirty eraser. Harry had made fangs out of straws. I wanted to get TV Man out of the June box, he fibed. Mr. Porcelain sneezed TV Man out of Harry's hand. This creature doesn't deserve to be saved in a June box. I toss it in the garbage where he belongs. We all watched the sub walk over to the rust paper basket and drop TV Man inside. She picked up 2 crayons out of the white plastic garbage bag and tied them together. I would have possibly tossed him into the dumpster myself. Harry looked shocked. Inattention, Mr. Spooger, the sub continued. You will spend lunch and noon recess indoors with me. That was the killer. Harry's sentence was the worst. He was going to miss the front outdoor recess in 2 weeks. No kickball game for him. He wasn't going to kick that brand new rubber ball to the moon. Harry bumped his head down in his desk. Suddenly looked very sad. Now that I've gotten to be the bottom of that ill-basic caper, everyone can get back to their math challenge, Mrs. Borsalino snapped. Harry was doomed. Chapter 4, The Math Challenge. I'm going to read you the chapter for the math challenge in next video. If you want to read this chapter with me, you have to search the YouTube like this. Horrible Harry and the Jukebox. Part 6 and 7. If you search that, my video will send out like a shot. Please watch the chapter 6 and 7. Please, thank you. See you later. Bye bye. Please read this chapter with me. Bye bye.